We're alive, baby! Welcome to Lucha Cast episode 3! Oh man, that was awesome. I'm actually quite surprised that actually worked out well. Well, on my end it did. Hopefully it worked out even better on the actual stream. So tonight...
That was pretty awesome.
Tonight we're going to be talking about the old DiC Enterprises of Sonic the Hedgehog animations. From the sort of bizarre to the honest to god, that's pretty damn good, to the why the hell did you even produce this? Anyways.
I don't know. Why are we producing this?
I didn't mean on my end, you cheeky bugger.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh, seriously, it's been forever since I've seen anything out of Cow and Chicken, though.
Getting back to actual, just speaking on the side of David Feast, the creator of Cow and Chicken, his most recent work that he was doing was the Cheetos adverts.
Oh, really?
In America. If you look at the animation style that they've got for the Cheetos adverts, you'll realize that it's David Feast actually doing the Cow and Chicken style.
I don't have TV. No, really, I don't.
I'm sad that I'm flying.
Oh man, but I mean, like, seriously though, it's been ages. In fact, that's I know it's not what we're going into today, but it's a topic I have for the future. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the sort of westernization of Sonic the Hedgehog throughout animation, starting from its original creation back in '93 up to its last rendition, what DiC Enterprises was doing in late... Yeah, DiC.
Just call it what it is.
And to think that you actually got a child to say that at the end of the fucking intro.
DiC.
DiC.
That's wrong!
Yeah, so we're talking from sort of mid-'93 to late '99. I think it went into the new millennium, but don't quote me on that.
Holy shit. I just realized, in all the times I've ever actually watched the little DiC outro thing here, there's a kid in the bed and there's a dog on the bed.
You didn't realize that?
No, all I ever pay attention to is a little starball thing.
Oh, right. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Wow, is that the engineer from TF2?
It could well be.
Just a little action figure on the right of the window. I think on the left, on like a dump truck or something. Is that Tingle?
I have no idea. It's like do maggots do.
Oh my god! So, since I don't think we've actually stated what exactly we are talking about. We stated good, the bad, the good, and the horrible.
Yeah, we're talking about the Sonic. We're talking about the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Saturday AM, as he was dubbed later on, and the fecal
Sonic
matter that was Sonic Underground.
That's what I said. Sonic in the grave.
They made a vow this series footage will not be found.
Burn it now. All right. Well.
Okay, a little history lesson for you here before we actually get into the actual adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So we're looking around about early '93. DiC Enterprises decides to push a production of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, DiC Enterprises have worked with a lot of video game renditions for their actual animation series. Specifically, the two biggest ones was Super Mario Bros. Super Show and the Adventures of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda? The Legend of Zelda, sorry.
Yeah, it's just The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
How dare you!
Call me Zelda one more time! So,
Zelda of Legend.
and ABC was also picking up on the sort of popularity of what Sonic the Hedgehog was doing video game wise, and they're just like, yeah, you know what, we could go for this. Please, by all means, push us a product that we can actually put on our ABC channel. But
make it '90s.
But make it '90s. And please, by all means, don't use much of your actual allowance to push on the animation procedures.
Pretty much. What backgrounds?
You actually just, yeah, you just really like. There actually was at a lot of times for DiC animation, just like, what backgrounds? We don't need backgrounds. We just got paper. We'll just use this blank white pitch, and that will do us.
Kids like characters. They don't give a shit about anything else. And add random sound effects too.
Oh yeah, they love doing that.
Oh my god, like Super Mario Bros. Super Show, all the squeaky toy sound effects every time Toad came on.
Oh, don't remind me. Hey guys, it's me, Toad. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
Squeaky, 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 squeaky. It's like, is that squeaky toy your parents having sex in the next room? And now, every time you think of
it's a vibrator, Luigi.
Anytime you think of anybody having sex, all you can think of is Toad squeaky sound effects.
Hey guys!
Oh Todd, oh Todd, oh Toad, hey!
Okay, I need to get back on the subject at hand here.
What subject?
So, DiC, with their blessings from the ABC production, they went out, they started producing a quick pilot ideas of what they were going to envision Sonic the Hedgehog as for their actual show. As probably near enough everyone here knows by now, they got the voice of Jaleel White to do Sonic. Which, when you think about it, at that sort of part of the game, very kind of odd choice of what they were looking for a Sonic voice.
Yeah, considering the other role he's played.
Oh yeah,
or he had played at the time.
Steve Urkel. Hey guys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, seriously, when you think Sonic and you think that iconic voice that you heard throughout those cartoons, what was the last thing you thought of? Some nerdy twerp with glasses.
Being
just causing
nuisance.
trouble all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sonic had the nuisance thing down just against the bad guys. So, but you didn't expect him to wear glasses and have buck teeth or whatever.
Oh no. Big old Coca-Cola bottle frames, yeah.
Yeah, no shit. But go ahead though.
So, yeah, they went through the production. You can pick up the footage on YouTube for this, by the way, the actual sort of pilot productions that they actually pushed through to ABC. They had Steve Urkel doing the voice of Sonic. They actually got Jim Cummings at first to do the voice of Robotnik.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch back through the sort of pilot, you kind of think, you know what, Jim Cummings doesn't actually fit this role.
No, not really.
The reason, and now I don't know if it's because well, actually, when I was watching back through the footage, it was a case of when I was listening to Jim Cummings speak, it was a case of he wasn't really trying to find a voice for Robotnik. It was just like, oh, I'll just use Pete from Goof Troop, and we'll just go with that.
Mm-hmm.
There was no oomph to it, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. It was just the basic voice.
Mm. It was just a basic, I'm Jim Cummings, I can get away with this.
It's, just the fast forward to the far off future and everything. When I've been watching somebody play through Skyrim, and I keep hearing that Pete voice everywhere. I'm like, wow, that's really like the only voice he knows how to do, isn't it?
No, hell no. No.
I know it's not. But it seems like
that's his like default go-to voice.
It's like, this is what I sound like every day, Goof.
Well, Goof, you fucked that up again. Gosh, Pete, you got bigger these days.
Hey, Goof, it's Goofy time.
No, Pete, no. Think of the kids.
I saw him in the movies, Goof. So back to the past.
To play this shitty games that suck ass.
To watch the shitty tunes that sucked ass.
Yes, yeah. So here's the thing: the push the project to ABC is like, here's our pilot. Tell us what you think. And ABC actually declined it at first. They said, no, this is not the direction that we're going for. We kind of like a few elements here. The Steve Urkel voice here from Jaleel White in the role of Sonic seems to be working, but everything else just doesn't seem to be rolling there. What ABC wanted was a continuation series. So basically, you watch one episode, and then when you watch the next episode, there was relation back from the previous episodes. So it was a continuous arc.
Something with an actual story.
Something with an actual story. So DiC, when you would think DiC would go back to the drawing board after hearing this to again reevaluate their actual product. No, no, they didn't. They basically took near enough everything from the original pilot, brought in a few other production casts. So the voice of Robotnik now wasn't Jim Cummings anymore. Jim Cummings went back to do more work with Disney, I believe, at the time. Probably. And they brought in everyone's favorite Robotnik voice, Long John Baldry. God bless that man. Because seriously,
yes, that fucking guy.
Because once you heard his robust English mannerisms being vocalized through the voice of Dr. Ivo Robotnik.
Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, you knew that he was more than welcome to play that character, because that character made
because you suddenly got a little bit more wet in the pants.
Yeah, oh yeah. Because, well, case in point, the actual art director, Milton Knight, actually created the stylized variation of Dr. Robotnik for this, because obviously you can tell by a mile away that the Dr. Robotnik in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was completely different to what we had seen as a sort of Dr. Eggman, Dr. Robotnik from the games. So he wasn't Teddy Roosevelt anymore.
Yeah, I mean, in the games, well, I mean, you didn't have much of a personality. That was the thing about the early Sonic games, is you just kind of had to make up as you went along. There was not a Dr. Robotnik personality. He was either smiling and giggling in his little eggmobile, or he was frowning as he started exploding and his face turned all red and black.
Yeah, because he got blown up and covered in smoke. Actually, when you think about it, that's basically what they're doing in the games. They were doing the blackface idea for when something blew up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was very cartoonish, but I mean, it was either he was smiling because he'd done a dickish thing to you, or he was completely unhappy because you'd blown up his nice little new toy.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go back to the toy store.
Yes.
And he forgot his receipt.
I hate that hedgehog! How am I supposed to watch Toy Story now?
Hey, Robotnik, looking for this? You just see Sonic just hold up. There's a handful of receipts.
A handful of receipts. Send them to the moon. But yeah, it was just a nice implementation to actually see this sort of redesign of Dr. Robotnik from Milton Knight's sort of idea. Mm-hmm. And for Milton Knight to actually go out there in his later on interviews, when he would talk about his sort of creation behind Dr. Robotnik, he said what he wanted to do was try and make Robotnik basically be the icon of perfection, although he was far away from it. So, in the mind of Dr. Robotnik, Robotnik done no wrong, and he was sort of like a god.
Unto himself.
Yeah, yeah. And basically, Dr. Robotnik ordered himself to be, and I quote, the sexiest fat man on cartoon.
Well, and pretty much that's what happened. You
Uh,
know, well, maybe not in the first cartoon because the first cartoon is what I'm thinking it is, right?
mm, but yeah, I mean, obviously in the earlier episodes, it was a case of yeah, they were trying to make Robotnik goofy, if you will, very
Well,
silly to
yeah,
the actual animation style that went along with. But it wasn't a case of you didn't sort of like pick up on Milton Knight trying to make Robotnik more robust until the later episodes, especially when they started pulling out the butt jokes. That was
hmm
one of Milton Knight's favorite things that he loved to do. Was he would try and get away with a lot of visualization butt jokes just
yeah,
off the
fair enough.
cuff. So again, when you're watching back a lot of the episodes of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, you'll always notice that Milton Knight always drew an ass crack on either Doctor Robotnik when he was turning away, even
It's
to the
true.
even to the point of you'll make like the actual butt jiggle just for the humor.
Well, and oddly enough, many years later, when people start making YouTube poops, that's one of the biggest things you end up seeing is
Yeah.
Robotnik bent over, turn around, his ass, one ass cheek jiggles up this way, the other one jiggles that way, and they just keep doing it over and over.
Yep.
But yet, ass cracks everywhere.
Even to the point of where they would actually draw ass cracks on Grounder, and Grounder's a fucking robot for
I
crying out
I
loud.
remember that.
It
But
is,
then again, with his shape and everything, it kind of worked with him.
mm,
But I mean, at the same time, yeah, he's a fucking robot. He doesn't need ass crack.
yeah, which always confused me. Even now, it's just like, why are you drawing an ass crack on Grounder? That's not funny. That's just right out bizarre.
It is. But at the same time, when you think about it, you're a kid, right?
Mm,
What's I'm sorry, when you're a kid, you think butts are funny. You think butt jokes are funny. You think poop jokes and fart jokes are funny. That's just how kids kind of are. Now, I'm not saying every kid's like that, but I remember my grade school days. If you made a fart joke, it was the funny thing.
yeah.
You get the entire classroom laughing.
Well, that was it. It was just the humane mention of fart. You would
Yeah.
just go up to them and you would basically stretch it out because you would go far and you would get someone giggling in the
Mhm.
background.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it made sense in some way to go ahead and put a butt crack on a robot because I mean, well, not only that, but it makes it less of a robot, more of a character.
Hmm. I somewhat, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, to give this cartoon any credit.
Yeah. It's very very weird in that essence because I mean you okay. Say if you were to be a person who was just coming into this show for the very first time, yeah,
hmm
you would sort of
Now,
look at this.
what age are we talking today?
I wouldn't say today's age. I would say, okay, let's say if a child's 8 years old, he comes into this for the very first time.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, do you think? Do you honestly think that child would sort of enjoy the sort of art style or the actual storytelling towards this show, or do you think it would be a case of what the hell is this? I've seen much better.
Hmm. Well, it to me, it actually all depends on the age of animation and everything. If we're talking 90s or today, I mean, if to by today's standards, I don't think a lot of kids get into it for a simple reason. It's not all CG and it's not all super duper ultra smooth frames and stuff like that. Back in the 90s, I think while a lot of it started in the 90s, yeah, it would have
Yeah,
had
it's not
to.
in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. I think why a lot of kids back then end up liking it, even for how shit it was because they didn't have a lot else that was truly that much better at that time. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were other shows that were better, but not as widespread as they ended up getting in the later part of the 90s.
But
So,
yeah, I mean, I'm just looking back through a few of the clips here that I've run through, and you'll notice that they for the animation style, although it's bright and colourful, which is a great plus, a lot of the actual sort of stylization, even for like the simplest of things, say like windows in the background, they're all just curved and wonked, and there's no horizontal or vertical. It's just like all over the place.
Yeah, it really is wacky. And in some weird way, that might actually end up appealing to some kids and stuff like that.
Possibly.
But again, if I was an 8-year-old today, I probably wouldn't. I might not end up enjoying it in the least. I mean, strictly because of the fact that there's so much other crap on to watch, so much other stuff that is just established by today.
As Vaz just mentioned there, he said that if he has a feeling the backgrounds were rushed. Yeah.
Oh,
that's you see, that's what I sort of didn't sort of like an awful lot with a lot of these animations that they did for Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. It just seemed as though a lot of the times there was no specific art direction. It was just a case of, okay, as long as we can tell who the characters are, it doesn't matter what's going on in the background, the foreground.
Well, yeah, perfect example is a little clip where Robotnik's busting out of jaws and everything, and he like steps down out of that throat thing. It's just this weird colored background with splotches all over it.
Exactly.
And when you look through a lot of the windows in the skies too.
I feel as though what they were trying to go for as well is that because Ren and Stimpy had done an awful lot of this as well, where they are sort of like the I think it's Jason Pollock style, where it was very art brush flicker or splats. And again,
it's for a show like that.
Yeah, it works. It works for that sort of show because that show was insane and bizarre, and not to say that the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was insane and bizarre as well. It's just that I think it was
not to the level,
and again, the wrong sort of audience that they were trying to push that towards.
I mean, let's compare here for a second. You got Sonic, which is just goofy visual gags and stuff like that. With Ren and Stimpy on the other hand, not only is it goofy visual gags, but it's also the banter.
Oh yeah,
the characters talking to each other. It is just, you watch it and you're laughing your ass off constantly because there's always something going on to detract from just the crappiness of the background and stuff like that.
Well, that's what it was. It was essentially just it was mainly Ren just getting more verbally angry, louder. Or he would do it. There was the times where he would just like do it in such a subtle voice, but you could tell that he was seething on the inside. That he just he wanted to unleash hell, but he was trying to sort of like hold back as such.
I mean, I guess probably the closest thing to that in this show would have been Robotnik himself.
Yeah,
which is really what people end up remembering about the show.
Actually, no, I agree with you because there was one episode where it was it was Scratch and Grounder invent their own like robot lackey, and they end up breaking a lot of plates. And Robotnik comes in and he's just like, if Scratch just says, "Oh, Robotnik's going to be really mad at us," Robotnik comes in and goes, "Robotnik's not mad. In fact, he's very, very angry. What have you done to China?" To rip off from a YouTube move. It was meant to be what have you done to my China is in the actual place, but they dubbed it over as what have you done to China, and it just like China blowing up or something.
I'm sorry, this must be why this has persisted, because like the entire world knew that someday YouTube poops would be a thing, so they had to save this for it.
I mean, God bless the guys who actually went out there and created YouTube for this, because the material itself, no matter how old it gets, no matter how repetitive it gets at times as well, it's still funny in essence.
It is.
There's still some new material there that you can sort of like find with like the like voice dubbing, or just we'll take this scene and then we'll mix it with this scene, but somehow it blends together and it looks like it actually came from that original episode, but it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite ones is just anybody who ends up doing anything with that Christmas episode they came out with, like the very last one or wherever it was.
it wasn't.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it was the last
The
one.
Christmas episode's kind of a weird debate because the Christmas episode came out in '96,
Mm-hmm.
just after Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday AM, and it was a mix of again Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog the cartoon.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, where does this exactly fit in? Because although it looks more Adventures of Sonic the
It doesn't.
Hedgehog, and people say, oh, it's part of the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, it isn't. It's actually its own separate entity. It was just a one-off
Yeah, it's
special.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was no point in it existing, really.
Um, the reason why that existed is because at the time Sega was pushing out for Sonic 3D or Sonic Mega Blast or what it was ever it was called in the
Sonic
US.
3D Blast.
Sonic 3D Blast, and again, that's what DiC went on. It was just like, oh, how about we make an animation for this, and
Oh,
we'll
it's a
try
little
and push,
spin-off. Okay.
yeah, as a spin-off, and we'll try and push sales for you guys. And Sega's just like, oh, well, you've made, we were giving you a license for our characters in the past, so do it again.
I was gonna say, how the hell did that fit with Sonic 3D Blast then?
DiC.
They
Essentially, that's all I can
made
say
it
for
fit.
that.
I mean, really, that's pretty much it right there.
Mhm.
Well, let's make a cartoon. Yeah, fuck making it have anything to do with whatever game's coming out. Just make a cartoon.
Exactly.
Sandroid tired. Oh man, but getting back to the whole focus of it.
Yes.
Yeah, everything did look like shit except for maybe the characters. But even then, like the characters themselves were always just bizarre. I'm looking at the scene where Robotnik's shouting at coconuts, and he bends down from above and everything, but it literally looks like he'd be standing on the top of the screen.
Yeah, that was again for a lot of the characters. They were so rubbery. They were just like, you know, you could pick up one character and you could drop them, and because of the velocity, even it doesn't matter about the height of when you drop them, but the velocity, it would just pick up, and they were still just bouncing higher and higher and getting more rubbery as they were bouncing.
They're the essence of tunes, basically.
Yeah, they are the essence of basically Toon Characters 101, where it's a case of no matter what you hit this character with, it won't injure him, but it will look humorous and painful in some essence, but because of the rubbery art style, it looks goofy, silly, daft.
I mean, really, they didn't. It's truly amazing that the show survived as long as it did.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, there was a hell of a lot of reruns for this show.
Oh man, yeah. Throughout the years, like God, back in I think the early part of 2000s, the Disney Channel was still showing it, and I loved watching that. I mean, that was the thing. Okay, here's something we can go into that I was kind of wanting to get to.
Yep.
Is what you ended up remembering about, like what was your first experience actually seeing Sonic on TV? And mine was, oh man, it was ages ago, back when I was still very young, living in a kind of a temporary house in Nebraska. I spent a lot of time in a city called North Platte.
Yes.
But before that, we had kind of jumped around all over the place. And there was one time when we
kind of like the characters in this show.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was very brief that we lived in a place called Lexington, and we were at the hospital because my mom and dad worked there as nurse and lab tech and stuff like that. And I remember sitting in the waiting room. They actually had this Sonic cartoon on TV. I'm like, holy shit! It's Sonic the Hedgehog! Holy shit! It's a cartoon!
It's convulsing!
God,
He's convulsing! Quick, get help out of here! He's convulsing!
You don't understand. I was a major Sonic fan back in the 90s.
Yeah, I agree with you on this.
I could not get enough of the games.
I agree with you on this, because I was near enough exactly the same.
I mean, it was. I started off on Nintendo, and then we ended up moving. We got the Sega Genesis, and just, oh my freaking Christ, you could not pry me away from Sonic the Hedgehog. until Cool Spot came out. But no, I mean, hell,
until
I played Sonic
until
1.
Bubsy came out.
You joke and everything. That was one of the games I got good at. But Sonic 1 came out, and I was on that for years and years. And then one of my neighbors ended up was like, "Oh yeah, you ever played this one? Sonic? What the hell is Sonic 2? Oh my god!" And just kept going. And so for me in that era, finding out there was a Sonic cartoon, specifically it was Adventures Sonic. Wait, this is Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it was the episode basically of them reminiscing the origin of Tails and Sonic's friendship or whatever.
Oh,
with
that
Tails
one,
still
yeah.
was like a little baby stay or whatever. Looking for a big rider.
Yes. If you can live with them,
That
but they
was
kick me out.
exactly. I remember that was the exact actual episode that I saw.
That was the very
And for
first
that to
one you're
stick
saying, yeah?
with, well, I didn't see it all the way through. That was the thing. I
Yeah, but I
remember
mean, it was the very first essence of what you're saying from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. That was sort of
my first exposure.
yeah, your first exposure. There you go.
Mhm. But later on, way down the line, hell, actually, it wasn't on TV that I got to see the rest of it. It was a website, TalesKicksAss.net,
Mhm.
where they had all the episodes up for download. And I'm like, oh wow, I can actually watch this stuff. So I did. And then later on, actually going back in time, I ended up seeing the next show, Sonic Saturday Morning.
We'll get to that just a
And
little bit later, because
yeah, I know we'll get to that, but I mean that was my next exposure, and then later on when I find this website, I actually find all those as well. So it's like this treasure trove of Sonic that I never had known existed other than glimpses back in the day, and I thought it's gone lost to the sands of time. And even then, even way down the line when Sonic moved far beyond the Genesis and everything, I was still hyped up to actually watch these cartoons. So in a small way, as crappy as this one is, I still enjoy it.
yeah, it
It's kind
is.
of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, essentially that's what this sort of series of episodes for the very first sort of rendition of Sonic the Hedgehog on an animation stance. It is a guilty
Yeah.
pleasure because as we mentioned, you look at this and you think, oh god, this is just so horribly animated at times, and just everything's just all over the spot. Yet the biggest thing that sort of held it together, and again, praise be to the god that is Long John Baldry, playing as Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah. Well, because really, what you wanted to do was you wanted to end up seeing what stupid, weird, goofy thing Robotnik was going to do next.
Mm-hmm. It's essentially
that was what kept me watching.
Essentially, that's what people said at the end. It was a case of when you realize that it's not about Sonic, and it shouldn't be called The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. You should realize it just should be called the Dr. Robotnik Show.
Yeah, it should. That's the sad part. I mean, it is this magnificent testament to Mr. Baldry because of the fact that he held this thing. He carried this show. I mean, I guess you could say Jaleel White. Oddly enough, I think he did fit really well as a voice of Sonic.
I agree with you. As bizarre as he was, it was kind of still like a bit of nasally at times for Sonic, but it still fit. It still fit, and
he had it fit with the attitude that Sonic was supposed to give off.
Yes.
But you said
I was going to say, although people praise Long John Baldry as well, this ain't to knock away from any of the other voiced actors or cast that was in this show as well, because they played their roles to perfection, as best as they could anyway.
I don't know what you mean.
Here's an interesting story actually about Scratch and Grounder, the actual voice actors. Scratch was originally Grounder, and Grounder was originally Scratch for voice actors. So Scrounder.
Really? They were Scratch was going to have Grounder's voice?
Yep. When they were first doing the trial run for voices, It was still going to be Scratchy's voice, still going to be. It was still going to be that voice, but it was just going to be Grounder's voice actor Gary Chalk doing Scratch originally.
Weird.
And again, the production cast, when they heard this, they're like, "This ain't working. Do something about it. Either improve the voice, or we'll find some other actors." So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so thinking about it, it's like, okay, we'll switch it. We'll switch it around. I'll do Grounder's voice. So yeah, I'm gonna get that Hedgehog, and you do Scratchy's voice.
I'm sorry. It's just I'm still remembering what one Nostalgia Critic review line is like. The he made me persistent. He made you too dumb to quit. I'm just imagining Grounder's voice saying that. He made me persistent. He made you too dumb to quit. It was probably a good thing they changed that up.
Yeah, pretty much. But again, you may notice in the very first episode, Sonic. Sorry, no, that wasn't the first episode. It was. I can't remember the actual name of the first episode now, but you'll notice that Scratch and Grounder's voices are pretty off here. They're not, they're not quite what you remember Scratch and Grounder's voices to be later on down the line.
I could believe that. Because, well, it's just like any show. When you start it up and everything, you're going to have to kind of fall into it later on.
Mm-hmm. Actually, sorry, just to take a step back as well, because you were mentioning about how you came first exposed to this. I didn't actually mention my side of the story of how I first came exposed to this show.
I was waiting for it.
It was a Sunday morning on the cartoon slots. The usual Sunday morning cartoon slots that we had on on Channel 4 over here in the UK. And it wasn't on at that time, but they done a little promotion advertisement for the show to build up the hype.
Yeah.
And from what I can remember, they didn't actually show any actual clips from the episodes or the show itself. They just ran the intro, chopped it up into their own thing, and just like, Sonic is coming to Channel 4. Watch next week on Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's just like
Sonic the Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic, yeah.
Sonic.
So yeah, it was like sort of the first time I'm just like, I need to make a date for this. I need to remember that I actually need to be up for this time to watch the very first episode. So next week runs around, I watch the episode, and it opens up with Sonic's butt in front of my face, and it's just like, good start.
I mean, really though, you were probably doing exactly what I'd done. You were just so hyped to see it in the first place.
Yeah, but that's what it was. It was a case of I watched the first episode. And yeah, that was awesome. You got to watch Sonic animation.
Yeah.
And it was and then from there it was a case of, okay, how many episodes can I continue watching through that next week? And I was like trying to keep with the sort of episode by episode that kept coming out. Obviously, at times I would miss it because I would either be sick or I'd be elsewhere, so I couldn't get anywhere near to a TV.
Yep.
But the episodes that I ever missed, I later on down the line, I started releasing them on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends at the time were buying them. My friends at the time were getting the VHSs to watch the episodes back to back.
Yeah, that
so I would, yeah. So basically, in time I was visiting my friends, just like, hey, you want to watch a couple of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog on VHS? I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I do.
Break out the McDonald's.
Actually, over there, that was probably a treat for you guys because it's always been expensive over there, hasn't it?
What, McDonald's?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Okay, I know for me when I actually went over there, it was like compared to what it is over here, it was like double the price of what you'd pay over in the United States here.
At one time, that might have been true, actually.
Yeah.
But a lot of the products that McDonald's sell now, they'll do like the $1.99 meal deal or whatever, where it's just like a burger and a small drink.
Because over here we have the value menu is Literally, like, you order something off of it, it costs you $1. Well, that may have changed in recent years, though.
Yeah, we've got the 99 pence burgers where it's just like
Hmm.
the bap, the burger. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
But yeah, Saturday morning Sonic. Gotcha.
yeah, so, yeah, running off course again. Sunday morning actually for us.
Oh,
Uh,
so Sunday. Okay.
yeah, so that's how I sort of kept over like a lot of episodes, and even then it was because I was missing out on a lot of episodes again. One of my favorite Christmas presents that I ever got, and this was from my granddad. He actually bought me the Chaos Emerald Saga that was on the
Oh, yeah.
VHS tapes, and which a lot of people actually have been reading up on this. A lot of people got pissed off at the Chaos Emerald Saga that the Adventures of Sonic the
Of
Hedgehog did
course.
because it was only 4 emeralds instead of
I
7.
know. It was so shittily done.
Didn't have
But
Super
I mean,
Sonic.
it
Quick,
was
spam more zeros. Bloop bloop bloop.
exactly. But then again, I mean, it was like the first time the show had actually tried to hold together a storyline.
Oh yeah, he tried to stay. That was actually that was the first and
The
only
only
story
time.
arc that Avengers Sonic Hedgehog had.
And oddly enough, I kind of enjoyed it.
Hmm. It was deemed as one of the the better collections for the episodes because they actually did have a plot to it, and in essence, the
Mhm.
actual plot when you watch the episodes back, kind of worked.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was a good show.
It was a good show.
But yeah, I mean, that was maybe that was like the first inkling they had that maybe we could actually put together a storyline for Sonic and it might work.
Mhm. The other thing was at that time as well when they were doing the Chaos Emerald Saga was this is when they were sort of starting on the early productions for Saturday AM.
Yeah.
Now, another little tidbit that I picked up on off the internet was the actual creators who were working on Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. They didn't actually know themselves that DiC was trying to produce another Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon on the side. So when they
Gee, I wonder why.
so when they found out, one of the creators actually said it, just like, well, we didn't really care as such because we were too busy trying to get on with our own work to a point of where we weren't trying to be challenging or actually try to become better ourselves. It was just a case of we're here to get paid, just carry on with it.
Yeah, you kind of get that vibe throughout the entirety of the series.
Which is kind of bizarre because when you do watch a lot of the later episodes as well, there's a lot of implementations of things from Saturday AM, like
Mhm.
Dr. Robotnik starts using a like a ray gun that actually transforms people into robots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
See,
it was kind of weird because it's just like although they say no, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog didn't have any Saturday AM influence. It was weird how they were still taking like plot points from it at times to use in their own show. It's just like, are you sure now?
Are you sure you're not taking anything? Yep, pretty sure, 100%
Mm.
sure. Fuck you.
um.
Go sit in the corner.
Oh, hold on. I think the call just dropped. The call just dropped. Yes, the call just dropped. Ultymoo is now screwed up. Great. Oh, thanks for joining me, Ultymoo. That was a great show. Oh, what is he doing? Please hold. This show is now fucked up.
Everything, and even in the games, it set some conventions for Sonic. It set up how things
Ulti?
in the Sonic work. What?
That was bizarre because the call dropped.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
the call dropped.
Oh man.
and then I picked up again once because apparently the call decided to recall me, and he's just used talking like, yeah, I remember this from the show, and the game is just like, why are you still talking? We fucked up.
I didn't know because I had this thing full screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But okay.
Blazzik has just confirmed there. Go sit in the corner, and then he gets sat in the corner by Skype.
um, but what I was saying is, I didn't know for a second there, what else we could really say about this because it's just Sonic Saturday Morning. or not Sonic anymore, Adventure Sonic the
Sonic
Hedgehog.
Hedgehog. Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. No, but the thing is though, this show did do something important. It set up some of the conventions for certain things that worked with Sonic. What kind of personality traits the characters had, and certain things in that universe that would continue to persist for many years, including in some games.
Very
Like,
true. The chili dogs. The chili dogs got huge
there
from
you go.
this.
That was the one thing throughout the entirety of the Sonic franchise from then, hell, even like I said, in the games like Sonic and the Black Knight, hell, actually Sonic Generations, the chili dogs fucking persisted.
Yeah, it's weird how that sort of grew from this, because it's just like, okay, Sonic the Hedgehog, what's going to be his favorite food, or his
Chili
favorite
dogs.
item, and it's like chili dogs, and it's just like, how does that work? But
I,
okay,
I
chili
don't know,
dogs.
but we're getting kickbacks from Oscar Mayer.
Okay, before I leave this, then two questions of the same essence. The first being, what is your favorite character from the entire show? And the second question being, what is your favorite minor character from the show? A character that didn't really show up as such, but was more than remembered from being from the show.
Okay, favorite character is very obvious. It's fucking Robotnik, dude.
Yeah, I have to
I mean, that's a
100%
hands
agree. Yeah,
down.
that's a hands down thing.
Um, as for, and I really don't need to explain the reasons. Robotnik he was the defining character of this first show.
Hmm.
I said it before, I think he really carried it. The personality and goofiness and the mannerism of speaking, that it worked. He was the star, not Sonic. Now, for minor characters, ones that you rarely saw or whatever,
Hmm.
I'd actually probably say it's a tie. Von Schlemmer or Wes Weasley.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the two that stand out most in my mind for just the minor ones that showed up here and there.
Again, I would agree.
The,
I agree with you on the completely on the sort of main character role, Doctor Robotnik,
hmm?
as the the biggest loudmouth, hilarious character throughout the show.
Yes. But for the set for the the minor characters, Von Schlemmer's one of my choices because hi, I'm the goofy doctor. I'm going to make an invention for you. Oh, it will go awry. Oh no! Would you like a peanut butter sandwich?
Professor Von
He
Slem's
was
here. Who's that? It's you.
yeah,
Oh,
just
I better say hello
batshit
to him. Hello.
insane. He was the crazy good doctor who just completely lost his mind.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
then Wes Weasley here. I've got a deal for you. Yes, I've got a deal for you.
the
He's
weird
just a
thing about Wes
smooth.
Weasley, when I was young and I saw these characters for the first time, I hated him. I hated
Yeah,
his tweed coat. I hated his mannerisms, and I hated the
he
fact of
was
how
made.
he was just like so eccentric. And then I grew to like him.
He was made to be hated. That was the thing.
You're bold, you're brash, you're arrogant. You're my kind of guy.
Exactly. Like you'd think first off he'd be the kind of person that worked well with Robotnik.
Hmm.
Until you realize that he is so overbearing that not even Robotnik can
Nick liked
stand
him.
him.
Nope.
Yeah. And not only that, but in the end he tried to fuck Robotnik over.
So many
Now,
times. Even
now
his
granted,
even his troops, Scratch Grounder and Coconuts, he would screw over. How you
it,
doing,
it
Palsy?
didn't matter. Exactly. It didn't matter who it was. He'd try to screw you over.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's what he
yet,
was. It was just for his own benefit. He was just like, "How you doing, Palsy? I'm trying to screw you. I mean, trying to sell you this product for a cheap price."
exactly.
Hey.
Well, you're just such a good little sucker. I mean, customer.
You know what? You've been so good to me. I'll sell you for this half price, and by half price, I mean I'm going to sell it for double.
Pretty much. Oh my god. It's really hard to pick between the two of them. I mean, if it had to come down to one, I'd probably say Professor Von Schlimmer just because he really was just the goofiest off character. But Wes just he had that way of just working into you, which is what his character.
How you doing, Palsy? What's that? Your internet's connection's down. Well, don't worry, buddy. We'll send you out a replacement in 7 to 10 days. Hey.
We've got to upgrade this tin can. We're gonna make it aluminum foil.
Aluminum's the
Upon upgrade
future.
and downgrade.
And essentially, that's what Wesley usually would do. Just pick up a tin can and like, look at this. It's a 56K modem. It runs fast.
As fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. He's got my endorsements.
He just takes a felt tip pen, starts going, look, it even has his signature.
It's just drawing of penis. It's exactly what he do.
He would, yeah.
Oh, fucking Wes Weasley.
Other side characters that I liked. Coconuts. I felt as though it was weird with Coconuts in this show because it was just so sidelined, and I think it was because his voice actor couldn't get to the show a lot of the times because he was probably doing work elsewhere. But I felt as though Coconut should have had more of a role at times.
Well, yeah, but then again, he was made to also be the sideline character.
Yeah, the scrub monkey third class. Yeah,
exactly. He was made to be fucked over by everybody and everything.
Which is kind of hilarious to the story. Because case in point, when Robotnik got fucked over by Sonic because he thought he got gold from an idiot, and it was just Sonic dressed up as a guy. And
oh yeah,
Robotnik sort of like he picks up like this gold and he just goes, strange, smells like chili beans. He starts licking it and he goes, it is chili beans! Chili beans covered in gold paint! I've been bamboozled! And then just out of nowhere he just goes, Coconuts, get in here! I've been fooled by the Hedgehog again. It's all your fault. And Coconut's just like, what are you talking about? I wasn't even there. Shut up. I'm the boss here. Yeah. I'm demoting you to scrub my sewers filled with crumbs and sludge.
Sludge.
Another weird character that came out of the show as well, and I always envision it like this if Sakurai ever watched the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And you know how
yes.
And you know how steel-faced Sakurai can be at times.
Yes.
The moment when Mama Robotnik shows up.
Oh my God, Mama Robotnik.
You can just imagine. I always imagine Sakurai as sort of like smile on the outside, but the Indian tears sort of dripping down his side of his cheek. Just like, what have you done?
Exactly. Fucking Mama Robotnik. Oh my God, I forgot about her.
Yeah, Blaziken's right, actually.
Sorry,
just to get on with Blaziken's quote here. The funny thing about Coconuts is that he actually fought back against Robotnik when Scratch and Grounder never did.
Oh, he'd backtalk him and shit like that?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of times when Coconuts was just like, you know what, I'm going to go out and make it on my own. Or it was a case of, I'll go on my own, but I'll capture Sonic and make Dr. Robotnik proud, and that way I can get a promotion.
Yeah, exactly, but he invariably fuck it up.
Hmm. I remember Robotnik, she had a moustache, or she didn't. that was a bizarre continuation of how they would roll with Mama Robotnik at times.
Oh God, I know. Oh, fucking Mama Robotnik. Really, what do you say about her? She's Robotnik's freaking mother.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Robotnik, and you're like, what kind of creature could spawn that? Oh my God. Oh God, no.
Well, Tell said it best, it's just like, it's Robotnik, but worse.
Yeah. She is the mother-in-law without being the mother-in-law.
Yeah. Hello, Mama.
Mama, Mama Robotnik?
It was hilarious though because in a few episodes she was trying to just like denounce her son.
Yes,
And she would
all the
take,
fucking time.
and then she would take in Scratch and Grounder and Coconuts as the new brethren.
Yep.
And it's just hilarious with a scene with Coconuts. You just Mama Robotnik's upset about something, and Coconut just like you try to fix it for her, and she goes, "Give me this," and she goes, "Yes, Mama," and don't call me Mama.
I remember that. Yeah, there's another vibe. Said,
I didn't raise you to be sorry.
I didn't raise you to be sorry.
You want trees for your birthday, Mama?
Wait. Also, didn't she kind of almost have a like Southern / Texan accent or some shit too?
Yes, she was kind of on like that southern drawl of almost like Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam. I was just thinking that.
Praise be to the guy who done a YouTube poop with this, and I need to find this clip again sometime. The original clip was, why did you escape from the nursing home, Mama? Sorry, why did you leave the nursing home, Mama? And Mama turns around and said, I didn't leave, I escaped. Someone dubbed it over, so it's just ways robotically like, why did you leave me, Mama? I didn't leave, I escaped.
That's fantastic. Oh man. All right, you think we harped on this freaking show long enough?
Well, we've been running for almost an hour with Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog, but that's the weird thing because again, thanks to sort of YouTube poop and the sort of man's sort of just continuation on with this and this again the bizarre essence of this show. There's a lot to talk about it, and you still can't come to the conclusion. Just like, was this show shit or was it just a guilty pleasure because it was good at the same time? It is that
it's a polished turd. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's that so bad it's good essence.
Yeah, actually, it's Sharknado 2 or Sharknado in general. It's well, okay. I'll explain. There are things in Sharknado that are done absolutely pitifully bad. Anything CG, anything involving the sharks. The dialogue is horrible. Just the story is horrible. In fact, you sometimes wonder if there is a story. The logic doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, a house filling up with water even though everything around it's dry.
Hey, Palsy, I need a story for your show.
Pretty much. But then you have the fucking characters. Just the bizarreness of some of the characters, how odd they are, and how flawed they are, too. And just somehow they end up carrying it through because you have this sick pleasure of wanting to see what weird, bizarre, fucked up thing is going to go on next. How badly they're going to handle the situation. That was really kind of what happened with Sonic, the Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog.
There was some really bizarre acid trips in a lot of episodes.
The backgrounds.
No, I mean the actual episodes themselves at times.
I know.
Case in point, look for episode 40, the Amazon Warrior, I think it was called.
Oh God, was that the one where it was like some evil Amazon warrior woman or something like that was coming to do something and Robotnik fell in love?
Well, she fell in love with Robotnik.
Oh, she did? I thought it was the other way around.
Nope.
Oh.
But yeah, just look at a lot of the stuff in that, specifically the things like when Coconuts gets hit over the head with a trumpet, and then for whatever reason he sprouts two asses coming out of either end of the trumpet.
What?
Yeah, and that's what happened.
The show was an acid trip.
Oh yeah. Other minor characters, by the way, we haven't mentioned Sergeant Doberman.
Yeah, Sergeant Doberman. That one episode I forget about. Something where they're trying to find Diamondiums or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, there's one character I completely forgot about. I'm actually glad I've just remembered. Captain Raccoon.
Oh, Captain Raccoon. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he appeared in 2 episodes, didn't he? Or was it just 1?
No, it was 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
But it was the one where it was the main the main sort of characterization of like he's Captain Raccoon, and
He's a superhero, but no, he's not.
yeah, and then there was sort of like they actually done a Sonic clip episode of here's some memories from earlier episodes. Yep,
Okay, yeah.
they done a clip episode.
Oh god, yeah, the sloths weren't they redneck sloths or something like that?
I wouldn't say they were redneck sloths.
I can't remember if they were or not.
Ah, son.
Oh yeah, 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 you're right, they weren't.
Hey,
I think it's
Craig.
some other show. Oh man, there were a lot of one-off characters. That was a big thing.
Mm. Yeah,
Oh god, the one episode where I think they were trying to Robotnik was trying to ban music because Sonic had a theme song or something like that.
oh, Caddy Carlisle.
Some
Yeah,
cat, yeah, that one.
yeah. I don't play the accordion. Oh, and there was
Man.
Sketch Lampoon,
Right, right.
the big bird
I remember
character.
that. God. Actually, I just thought of something else. Because I was trying to remember the theme song that they had for Sonic for that one episode, and I remember the mention of Mobius. That
Yeah,
was kind of one of the. Now I don't remember if they ever actually said in the video game manuals or anything like that that was Mobius.
strange thing actually, because I
Did
don't know
they?
if they ever done that themselves, but getting back to sort of like the early promo, the pilot episodes, they actually mention Mobius as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was again a thing that the actual animation production came up with. It was just like, okay, we need a name for where Sonic lives on a sort of like a universe,
Yeah,
or if
because I
Sega
know.
said, oh, so yeah, Sonic just lives on Green Hill and on South Island or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think Sega ever actually mentions what planet Sonic lives on. I don't think in any games they ever call it Mobius or anything like that, do they?
I don't know. I don't think they ever did at that early stage. That's why I was saying it was kind of weird because it was just like, okay, Sonic lives on a planet called Mobius.
Hmm.
Intriguing.
Yeah, and I know that persistence in the next show, didn't it?
Yes, yes, it did.
Mhm.
Which we'll
Now,
actually jump over to now. Now,
yeah,
before I actually get to the next show, again, I've somewhat previously mentioned this. The production of the show, again, as we mentioned with the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, was a case of it wasn't picking up towards the end of what ABC actually wanted from the actual show.
hmm,
And they got back in contact with DiC and it's just like, okay, look, we know you got this still running, but it's just not working for us. We need something that will fit into the Saturday morning slot for us. And we still know Sonic's big at this point, but we need it to be that
good.
reminiscence of what we're looking for. We need it to be huge for us. We need it to be a moneymaker.
We need a hit.
And it's weird because I think this was the first and only time that DiC went out of their way to actually start looking for actual main event headlining talent to not only
Yeah,
create the show but write the show and voice the show and everything else that goes into the productions. They basically started anew and they just got all of the book and just like, okay, who's our top guys who can pull
hmm.
off this show for us.
They
And it's
probably
just,
actually had a budget to do it too.
yeah, I think ABC actually is just like, okay, this time we're going to give you a budget but don't fuck it up.
Mm. Well, I mean, because as bad as this Sonic show was, kids were probably watching it left and right. I
Hmm.
mean, there's a reason it was repeated over. Oh, you had reruns everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And actually, that's the weirdest thing now that I think about it. You know, various networks all throughout the ages, I've seen tons and tons and tons of reruns of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. You never really saw much in the way of reruns of Sonic Saturday Morning.
Yeah, and
That's bizarre.
that is kind of bizarre. And in essence, that's actually how ABC ran it as well when they were doing this first run.
Yeah.
A lot of people said they were trying to find like the episodes of Saturday AM, thinking that it was
Mm-hmm.
going to be on at like the same time from the previous week. But no, ABC they kept basically switching it around, kept switching it over, and they were moving in time slots with it every bloody time. So it wasn't
Hmm.
consistent. It was all over the place, and people were missing the show, even though they wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Um,
That is odd.
but yeah, so again, getting back to sort of like the production cast for this show, again, a lot more praise be for the people behind this show because Patalee and Ben Hurst, the
Mm-hmm.
two of the main head writers for this show, they went out um, and they created what was essentially called the Bible for Sonic Saturday AM, and it was a plot device of, okay, here's the universe that we've created where Sonic lives in. Here's all the people that live within this universe. This is what this universe is going to be like, you know. So it's going to be once upon a time was a rich, luscious, vibrant planet. You know, everyone was happy, everyone was in peace,
Everything was good.
everything was good. Here comes Doctor Robotnik, and it's not a case of, you know, he wants to take over. It's a case of he has taken over now. It is, you know, it's his rules, or you'll get roboticized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are being subjugated.
Yeah,
There is nothing to stop him.
precisely. Um, and that's what, you know, that's essentially what they tried to do with this show. It was a case of fresh start, different characters, different world, just different everything altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because when you look back at these sort of like the characters that they brought in, Sally Acorn, Buddy Rabbit, Antoine de Coulette, and Rhoda, and
Oh yeah.
whoever else the mastered in, when you think about it, it was like the very first time that Sonic's getting like all these new characters, and who knew that years later on down the line that Sonic would get new characters into his own games and they would all suck.
Yeah. Like this is the one time they actually did it right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, this show turned everything completely around. Like like where you thought it was just gonna be nothing but goofiness before, no, suddenly it's just this absolutely amazing. Like you said, it just like they had a Bible for it. Everything ended up
It was
fitting.
a case of, okay, you know, hey kids, did you enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog? We were running it last time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time to get serious. This is the harsh dose of reality that's gonna slap you in the face.
Yeah, I mean this. Okay,
Yay!
you watch the intro alone. When I'm sitting here looking at this, the, even in like the darkest points and everything, there is always something in the background going on, something that help catch your eye to carry the story along. You
Hmm.
know, it's like yes, this is a absolute fucked up world. This has gone to hell in a handbasket, and yet you know there's still people fighting. You see this with all the industry and robotics minions and everything, just all the SWAT bots, just everything.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's again just getting back to like the heavy
Shading on the
detail that went into
backgrounds.
this. Um,
Yeah, pipes where you think pipes might be.
mhm.
I
And
it was so well done.
here's the thing as well: a lot of this was hand painted. You know, they actually went
Oh yeah.
on film cells. And again, kudos to the actual people who designed this, because it's just like, good God, you put so much effort into this.
Yeah. Yeah, it is absolutely amazing.
I mean, even yeah, I'm just watching the transition here again for the intro, where it just shows like the luscious greenery, and then when Robotnik's ship goes by, it's just like everything dark and dingy. It's just like that's
Everything is dead.
yeah, everything. That's just that's a sweet transaction.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it adds some weight to the world.
Hmm. Yeah, well, it's metal.
Mhm. But I mean, no. In all seriousness, though, it really does.
Mm.
And
It was. It was crazy. And again, it was one of them things. It worked out the same way as you know what I mentioned previously when I was first found out about Adventures Sonic the Hedgehog was coming to
yeah,
TV on my end. They'd done the same thing with this, and again at the time, Adventures Sonic the Hedgehog was still running on in the UK here as well, and they done the promotion for this new Sonic cartoon. It's just like, oh, okay, there's a new Sonic cartoon coming. And I was like, I'm just looking at it, looking
interesting.
at the different art style of it, and it's just like, okay, it is completely different, but I don't get why they done it.
Hmm.
Again, I was only a kid, you know. These things just,
You don't understand.
yeah. You as a child, it's a case of just like, oh, go with it. It's something that you enjoy, so watch it.
Yeah, it's a new Sonic cartoon. I could watch that. It's like a new Bugs Bunny cartoon. I watch that.
And yeah,
It was like that kind of thing.
I just remember watching it, and just like, good God, just the atmosphere, just everything all together.
Hmm.
This ain't Kansas anymore, sunshine. This is Robotnik land.
Yeah, pretty much. It really, like, when I say 180, I'm not talking about just the art style. I'm talking about everything. It has a fucking storyline. It has a universe, an actual, honest to God, well built universe.
the create again. Ben Hurst in his interview before he passed away,
Hmm.
he stated that within this series he wanted to try something completely different because he said he noticed that Sonic was always winning. No matter how bad things got for Sonic or any of his friends or whatever, they would always pull out. Just like,
Right.
yay, Sonic saves the day yet again.
Hooray,
No,
hooray.
no, this was probably one of the very first earliest adaptations of where the villains could get an advantage over the heroes.
Yeah. Like, the characters have actually experienced some loss.
Yeah.
Sonic's Uncle Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
He was roboticized.
Yes, it was.
Hell, I mean, I don't remember. Does it ever go into it in the show with his parents or anything like that?
No, Sonic didn't have parents at this time. The only sort of
Okay.
like the parental here was Sally Acorn. Um, oh God, I forgot the King Acorn. I forgot the actual name.
Yeah, it was King Acorn.
Yeah, I know it was King Acorn, but I'm sure they give him a first name later on.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he had some kind of name in there. I can't remember what it is.
Sniffly.
Thaddeus, we'll call him Thaddeus. King Sniffly Acorn.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy, sir?
Oh my God. But no, he had some kind of name. I don't remember what it was.
But
King Cheekiest Acornus.
yeah, fun thing about King Acorn, voiced by Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Again, the very
I mean,
early adaptations of Tim Curry is everywhere.
exactly. I mean, you say that. What hasn't that guy done?
Exactly. Just like, good God, Tim Curry, what have you not put your name down on? And it's just like, oh, well, I've done this.
You know what happened is Tim Curry was literally Curry at one point. Like,
Hmm.
but what happened was somebody spilled the pot and it went everywhere. And a man rose. A man rose from the curry.
Did, 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 did.
Exactly.
Using his
Yes,
luscious voice, he used it against the powers of evil.
to become a transvestite.
I'm just a sexual transvestite from Transylvania. Yeah, I can't do a Tim Curry voice, sorry.
Of course not. Only Tim Curry is allowed to do Tim Curry.
Chemical Curry Zone. But yeah,
Oh, Tim Curry, only you can derail us this much.
but as I was saying, for like voice actors within this show, you don't think about it, but this show is definitely a who's who of voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just bring up the notes here. Yeah, okay. Obviously, we know Sonic the Hedgehog was Jaleel White. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Robot.
Mega Man. Yeah, that joke. Sally Acorn was Kath Susie.
Mm-hmm.
She'd done a few things that was sort of like
Of note.
very essence of this show actually.
Mhm.
I remember one of her voice positions she actually done for the Mighty Ducks on Disney
Oh, really?
at
Huh.
one time. Um, Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm just going to quickly read through these again
Okay.
because I just want to see what these voice actors done as well. Ah, yes, Christine Cavana, who done the voice of Bunny Rabbit with a southern drawl. Um,
Of
she,
course.
she was actually Goslin from
Really? From Darkwing Duck?
Darkwing Duck, yeah. And
Wow.
before the voice of Bart Simpson took over for Chucky Finster, she was the voice of Chucky Finster.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it says here as well she was also the voice of Oblina in Real Monsters. You know, the black and white stick.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, she had a pedigree too.
Yeah, here's another interesting fact for you. Um, she was the original voice of Dexter in Dexter's Lab.
So basically, she's oh fuck, what was that? What was that voice actress's name? Um,
Christine.
she did no, she did Bubbles in Powerpuff Girls.
Oh,
I can't
right.
remember her name.
Basically she was running off Tommy voice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but basically that voice actress has done everything. Oh my gosh, she has so many voices.
Um.
But that's kind of the pedigree that we're getting from this.
hmm. Oh yeah. Rob Paulson. The
Tara
voice of
Strong, that's who I'm thinking.
Yes, you are. Rob Paulson, the voice of Antoine. He done
Mhm.
voices for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was the voice of
Oh,
Raphael. Uh,
nice. Okay.
he also done Animaniac voices and Pinky and the Brain.
So what I'm getting from this voice acting cast is they basically took a look at what was amazing at the time, what was really popular, and said, okay, so a lot of you guys want to do voice work for us for a Sonic the Hedgehog thing. Like this is really popular with the kids in the video games right now. We just want to make a TV version of
Yeah.
it that really doesn't suck.
Another big voice actor, Cree Summer.
Hmm.
You may know her as Susie from Rugrats, and she done the same voice for Dulcie.
Oh, Susie, wow.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Relate
Now
the
that I put two and
voices.
two
Relates the
together.
voices. You weird, ain't it?
Woo. Yeah, because you didn't see much of Dulcie until like what the
Season
later
two.
part of the yeah.
Yeah. Here's another thing about Cree Summer as well. She was also the voice of Elmira, um, Tiny Toon Adventures.
Yeah, that I could understand. Yeah, it's pretty much almost the same voice for all three characters.
Pretty much.
You know, actually, now that you mentioned Dulcie, that was another thing with this particular universe. With the last show, you had Sonic and Tails were kind of your furry characters, and you had Robotnik and the robots and the Dumbbots, I should say. But everything else was this kind of weird animal character, or it was some weird oblong person thing. In
Yeah,
this universe, you have Robotnik and Snively, and basically everything else is a furry of some kind.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but I mean, then you bring on like Dulcie, and it's like, wow, then they're not just going with like with animals you find places. No, they're going with like the mythological stuff too and
Yeah, they go
everything.
went with mythological lore in this essence as well. It's just like, oh, you know what? We need new characters. Bring in a dragon. Done.
Yeah. Which is like it's kind of like wow, wait, why do you have something like that in this world? I mean, I guess it fits. That's weird though, and it was intriguing as a kid. I'm just like, huh, dragon character, huh? But I
Yeah,
mean, that was the kind of thing that they did though.
yeah.
So
Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I'm just sort of like letting that soak in. It's just like, yeah, again, just crazy to think how they. It wasn't a case of okay, we need a new character in the show. We'll just look for the sort of like generalistics of typical
let's
animals. No, we'll go for mythical.
let's add Hugh Cucumber. No, that's stupid. How about a dragon? Fuck yeah, dragons!
Fuck yeah, dragons. um, So yeah, of course we're going to have to address this as well. Again, back to voice actors. Jim Cummings, welcome back as Dr. Robotnik, as the deep, angry voice.
Now this
yes.
is okay. So last
Sniffly.
series in the last series in Image had Sexy Robotnik in Speedo. This had Sexy Robotnik in the voice. My God, like if you gave that voice recording to someone, you would their pants be wet for one of two reasons. You'd either be wet in the front and they'd be asking for a towel, or they'd be wet in the back and they'd be asking for a laundromat.
Yeah. Because you've either wet yourself happily because you think it's such an awesome voice, or you've shit yourself because of how damn scary this voice could be at times.
Exactly. Fucking Robotnik. I mean, really. I love this. I love pretty much all the characters in Sonic Saturday Morning, but god damn it, Robotnik.
Again. I don't know what
took that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with DiC animations, but anytime it came to like, okay, we need to give Robotnik a personality, they ran with that ball. My God, did they take it places.
This time, yeah, little goofiness here and there, but it was that goofiness you were scared to laugh at.
Yeah,
you didn't dare say anything about it, or you would probably be ripped in half.
Case in point,
look at the guy.
Yeah, case in point, one of the goofiest scenes when you look at it, but it's still downright sort of intimidating. The Robotnik, "What color is my heart?" scene.
Yeah, that one that keeps playing. It's like, if you look at it just from it, he's putting a sniffle his head in his mouth. He's got like 4 or 5 uvulas and shit like that.
Yeah, it's just like, that looks so stupid. And then when you listen to the actual sound, it's like, "Snively, what color is my heart?" "I don't see a heart, sir." Exactly.
It's just like, no, get away. Dominoes. You could probably put that to that, actually.
You probably could.
Just cut out the voices and everything. Oh my God. It was just, but for the character itself, though, it was a complete and utter 180, because where your Robotnik was just this kind of goofy, almost bean-shaped guy, Robotnik here was he was yes, he's a gigantic fat man and everything, but he's a powerful fat man.
Oh yeah, I mean, case in point, you've seen how he swung around Snively at times. Just like, "Snively, come here."
Like pounding on panels and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like punching something and breaking it. Yeah, yep. He was not a guy that you fucked around with. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, like parts of him are in fact robot parts.
Yeah, if you watch one of the episodes from season 2, Blast to the Past, Sonic actually pushes him into one of the earlier adaptations of the Roboticizer, which actually roboticizes Robotnik's arm.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's, again, continuity on the show, because you think about it, when you see like Robotnik at the beginning of the series, you notice the robotic arm. It's just like, how the hell we got that? And then later on down the line, it's just like, oh, this is how Robotnik got his roboticized arm. Sonic pushed him into the roboticizer.
I need to go back and watch this.
Yeah. You know, this is what I liked about this cartoon an awful lot, because with the exception maybe like the first season, which was again still trying to find like its footing. As soon as season 2 came round, and they had like an idea of, the characters were more fleshed out. They had more of a personality, and there was some like tweaks on the designs again.
Mm-hmm.
It was a case of, okay, we can start story continuation now.
Yeah, it really was. Like, with the first season, yeah, there wasn't much of a story, but there was some continuity here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot more than Sonic the Hedge, the first show did.
Yeah.
That other show.
That other show. Yeah.
But I mean, like you got continuity in his SWAT bots and the little spy cameras, and the fact that Knothole was always there. It wasn't. Yeah, that was a thing from the first show. Sonic never had a base of operations.
No,
In
no, he
this
didn't.
one,
It was just Sonic in the first show. It was just a case of he would always camp out at some place, and that was it.
yeah, he was nomadic. In this, no, he has Knothole as his home, as is the forest, and Robotnik has his base of operations. You know, I mean, yeah, I guess Robotnik always had his base operation in the first show, but it seemed to move around a lot too.
Well, yeah. Robonic's base of operations in the first show was just a case of it was just like a basic observatory laboratory at the same time.
Basically shaped like him, but on occasion that would move around. It was always the same building, of course,
Mm.
but it was never same shape, never same size, never same interior. Hell, even sometimes when they draw, it would not be in the same location geographically.
Nope, no, he wouldn't. But here, it was a case of because Robonic's taken over so much, his base of operations is essentially, you could say, like a good quarter of the planet.
Hmm. Probably more actually if you look at the intro.
Yeah,
I mean, really, the great it was the Great Forest.
the
Is
Great
that what
Forest,
they
yeah.
called it? Yeah,
That's what they called it, yeah.
that's about the only thing left from what they really show you in the show.
Yeah, pretty near enough. The only thing that's sort of like natural
Hmm.
as opposed to man-made.
Yeah, which is in fact interesting.
But yeah, other things that made this show really interesting. The development of Tails.
Hmm. Oh
Um,
yeah,
Tails in the beginning, they put him back in his sort of like just his child role, where he's just like, oh, I'm the cute guy.
very very much so.
Yeah, I'm the cute guy. Oh no, I'm being attacked by bandits. Help, Sonic, help,
Help! Help!
help, help. Ah.
Oh no, he's fuck what is oh I'm trying to remember. It's an old cartoon character. She was like some kind of race car driver, but she was always
Oh,
help,
Penelope Pitstop.
help. Penelope Pitstop, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, I can see the relation. But again, as soon as season two came around, the character development, what the writers gave for him, it's like okay, we'll push Tails to be more of a we'll actually let Tails go out on more missions and become more relatable with Sonic on doing stuff,
Hmm.
and it shows like a training process of Tails sort of like becoming this sort of more acknowledgeable person on how to defeat things or how to escape when he needs to run away from certain obstacles.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, he did grow up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And the creator said they wanted to continue that on throughout season three as well, where Tails it basically was a Tails coming to be.
Hmm.
Um,
I I really wish there would have been a season. I think everybody that watched the show wishes there was a season three.
yeah, but again, as we've came to notify here, what we learned later on down the line, the reason being for no such thing as a season three. Um, there was two big reasons. The first one was the reason of because of the slot changing and because of what other
Hmm.
shows were on ABC at the time, specifically the Power Rangers, which was
Yep.
which was quoted as being white hot.
It was wildly popular.
Yeah, basically just pushed the sort of acknowledgement of Sonic just away. Um, the
Sad.
the other big reason, what they came
Yeah.
to the conclusion was the president of ABC was leaving, so they had to get a new position for that. So when they brought in
Hmm.
the new president, it was the first words that apparently he said was everything needs to be wiped clean, a new slate. So again,
Fuck.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, well this is just old news, and they just swept it underneath the rug, and they completely abandoned it.
Why? Like seriously, were they not getting ratings for a show back then?
Again, because it was being pushed and pulled and just all over the place at times, and
I
again
guess.
because the ABC were trying to make way for other shows. This particular animation just this is why it became more of a cult favorite, because it's very little is known about it originally at the time.
Yeah. Because it's true. Because getting back to that story I was telling earlier about seeing the episodes and everything, my first exposure to this show,
Mm.
I don't remember where I was at the time. I think I was out and about again, and I caught a clip of one of the episodes in this show. It was the one where Sonic was having a nightmare about being stuck in Mega Muck or whatever it was.
Yes, and basically
And
Sally's been well, kidnapped, shall we say, and about to be roboticized at the same time, and Sonic's trying to
yeah,
break
that's
out from
what
this
it
Mega
was.
Muck. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a bizarre episode as well, because that
it
sort of
was.
put the freak on as well, because it was just Sally like, Sonic, where were you when the brains were handed out?
Oh God, I remember that. But I mean, it was if you're gonna make a comparison, it was like kind of like the Batman animated series of his, watching his parents die or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's kind of that
completely agree.
comparison.
Hmm. It's that comparison. It's just like such a major loss.
It's a very very dark idea.
Hmm.
I mean, for as dark as the show did get, I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong, it was dark as fuck. It wasn't as dark as it could have been, but it was dark as fuck.
Yeah, it was subtle. I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't to that point of just like, oh yeah, we're going to scare your
It wasn't
children
Batman.
you were going to scare your children for the rest of the eternity.
It
They will
wasn't
never
Batman.
sleep again.
But yeah, I mean, that was my first exposure to it, and what I actually seen was that little bit right there where he's having the dream and Sally is getting roboticized. I'm just like, what? Oh my God, what is this? What is this? This is Sonic, but man, it's dark and it's awesome. I want to watch more. I mean, just seeing that little bit instantly got me probably about 10 times as hyped as the original show had. My little first exposure with it. I
my, little,
wanted more of this.
my little first exposure.
My little first exposure, not in public. Ah, get away.
Apples and balloons.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you in your sleep. Oh man, seriously though, this just a little bit of footage from that made me want to watch this so bad.
Robotnik
And
is
I,
magic. Yeah, there was that part. I remember someone did that on YouTube. It's just like, Robotnik, what do you think of My Little Pony? It's just a clip of just like, well, let's just say it's magic.
oh,
Snivelly, what colour
but
is my fart? I don't see a fart snare. Exactly. Snivelly, I'm busy right now. It just shows a cock, a sock hanging off his cock. God damn it, Smokey.
oh man.
But yeah, we haven't talked an awful lot about the other characters in this show. Actually, we've sort of talked about main characters, Robotnik, Sonic, and a bit of
Sonic,
Tails.
Tails,
We
Sally.
mentioned Sally here and there. Yeah, but the other
Rhoda.
side characters as well. Rota, interesting, sort of ingenious on developing stuff.
Yeah.
Specifically, because everything was natural resource.
Yeah, and yeah, well, not everything was natural resource. I mean, he had technology and stuff like that at
Okay, yeah,
disposal.
okay, fair game. But
Yeah, he was always building little computer
he tried to keep
gadgets.
it sort of like to natural resources as best as he could.
Okay, when it came to inventions around Knothole, yeah, it was generally natural resources. When it came to mission items, he always had the explosives. He had the little computer terminal gadgets and everything.
Hmm?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a lot of stuff like that going on. Nicole.
Nicole. Actually, I was just about to jump to Nicole because Nicole was interesting because with Sally, Nicole was sort of like just straight voice. I am robot. Please insert girder sort of voice.
Yeah.
And I just liked the personality tweak when Sonic was running around with Nicole to find stuff. It was just like, hey Hedgehog, my man, how you doing? Let's kick it to it. And it's just like, okay, Nicole, stop trying to be Sonic.
Pretty much. But like later on in the comics and everything, actually, they kind of took that and ran with it for a small arc.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think in the Archie ones. I don't know about the Fleetways.
No, Fleetway was Fleetway was completely different.
Completely different. That's right. I don't know. Did you ever get a chance to read through any of the Archie ones?
Somewhat, but way later on down the line, not during the actual production when it was first being released. Because again, I had the Fleetway comics, so that's what we got.
Basically, all I remember is I think Nicole actually kind of had a thing for Sonic, and she ended up having kind of like one of those little holographic forms come out and flirt around with him at one point, something like that.
Yeah.
So they took that episode and ran with it.
Yeah, I do know now that apparently Nicole is sort of like a pure spirit of a animal, and that sort of became more of like a personalized character that actually runs around, but he's still but he's still just like digital data.
Exactly.
Actually, think of it like Rimmer from Red Dwarf.
Actually, very much so.
Yeah.
In fact,
instead of being a hollow light, I think Nicole's more hard light now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they also did a story arc where they show that Nicole is sent back from the future. Like she's a computer. Actually, she's kind of like a paradox. Actually, although I don't know if she's a paradox or not, because I think Rotor actually ends up making her in the future, and Sally sends Nicole back to her in the past or something like that.
Yeah,
that's how it was explained in the comic.
Other characters, Bunny Rabbit.
Yeah,
interesting.
A really fun character.
Again, interesting backstory with Bunny Rabbit. Sort of like that half roboticized, still half flesh, if you will.
Yep. But she always had the super strength kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but it still crippled her because it was just like all she ever wanted to be was normal again.
Yep. And it bothered her. It bothered her no end.
Oh yeah, it really ate her up because it was just like, okay, I've made most of this sort of like robotic enhancements, so I can knock shit out of anything and everything and break open stuff. But again, it's not who I am. I wish to be normal again.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, and here's another character, Uncle Chuck himself.
Uncle Chuck was interesting.
He was
very interesting.
Very interesting. Because he was kind of the double agent.
Mm-hmm. The original creator of the roboticizer.
Yep. And
basically the first victim of the turnover.
Yeah, he very much one of the first victims, and yet Sonic's able to kind of bring him back a little bit.
Yeah.
In fact, brings it back to the point where he can act as a double agent at one point.
Because basically he grants him free will again. He breaks the
power.
The power of the machine, if you will.
The mind control, basically.
The mind control, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't he basically just hand him a ring or something like that?
Well, that's what. Again, get into sort of like the story plots behind how the rings work. That's sort of like because they were so power enhanced that they could basically how can I state this?
Basically, they could concentrate magical energy in the rings or something like that.
Okay. Sometimes it was sort of like a plot device to get out of just like out of things. Because Sonic's in trouble. Sonic can't break out of this by himself. I know, I'll use the power ring. And it's just like, Robotnik's just like, oh no, not this fucking plot device again.
Yeah, but at the same time, unless it was a episode where they were stockpiling him or whatever, he only had the one, and if he used it up, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things where they had to save it for the right moment.
Yeah, which was interesting in the last episode because Sonic doesn't use the One Ring; he uses 3 to escape.
Yeah, and it isn't while he's in the robotizer.
Yes.
Yeah, he's literally in it, and he uses the rings to basically end up reflecting the beam or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know what? In that essence, fine.
It works like it might in the games.
Yeah. It's that savior thing. You got one shot to use this up. As you sort of like escape key. Get out of jail free card, if you will.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up. So yeah, but in like early episodes, where it was just a case of, oh no, Sonic's in trouble, better give him the power ring. It's like, well, that's sort of like, yeah, plot device to escape. And you're thinking, come on, Sonic, you didn't really need to use that. You could have made your own way out of this.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, it's also that, like I said, the little magical power enhancer thing in that it made him more powerful, it made him faster.
Mm.
I mean, he is fast. He is fast by himself, but really, when it comes down to it, though, when he actually gets more powerful and stuff like that, he can just blow through the swamp bots and shit, where he might not be able to normally. I mean, yeah, it is a cheap plot device, but it does still work.
I wouldn't say it was cheap. I just felt as though it was used a bit too many times than it should have.
Yeah, I can agree with that, actually.
I feel as though they should have weaned it down a bit more, as opposed to just like, okay, here is the big evil point of just like, Sonic is completely fucked. He's got no choice but to use this as the final chance to escape.
Now, do you think this, though? Do you think maybe there was also some communication with Sega back then saying, you guys don't have a whole lot of connection with the actual games. Put something in and make it prominent.
Possibly, because I do know when it came to sort of like, again, whoever was working on the show, they've always said that they didn't really have much entity on where Sonic originally came from, game-wise, from the Sega production. Mm-hmm. And it was just a case of what they would usually get is just like a bit of file footage of someone playing through the game. Some of the worlds that were being shown. This is and they would like show how Sonic was animated in the game and what was in the game and what the enemies were and who the big bad was. But again, because there was no story fleshment from the video games at the time, once more limitations.
Yeah, they had to build something to work with.
They had to build something to work with. And it was a case of, okay, once upon a time, this worked for this sort of showing with this essence. Could it work with these characters for this essence?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Other characters, whatever we haven't mentioned yet. Antoine. Oh dear.
Oh God, Antoine. Holy fuck, Antoine.
Talk about stereotype.
If you ever need to give anybody an example of a stereotype, just pop in an episode of Sonic Saturday Morning. Good God, Antoine was your Frenchman.
Yep.
He was your stereotypical run from every battle Frenchman.
Mr.
We go home now, yes. We go home now, no, Antoine.
And I was like, yeah, yeah, and then I chopped him in the back. As he was trying to say.
I ran away because blood.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get the AIDS.
Oh God. And the fact that he would suck up the Sally all the bloody time.
Oh man, yeah, just basically trying to vie for her affection.
Yeah.
When it was clear he had no chance.
I laughed at one point where it's just like Sally after like going for the mission brief. It's like, does anyone have any questions? And Antoine puts up and he's like, oui, madame, Sally, you have done such a great job with this. And Bonnie just turns like, Antoine, that's not a bloody question. Oh wow, yeah, but Sonic was good fun for just like foiling Antoine at times, just like
Oh yes.
just taking the piss out of him constantly.
Really, if you could have a coconuts analog, I mean, yeah, you could say Snively was, but no, Snively was kind of he was different. If you want a coconuts analog, it would probably be Antoine,
Yeah, I would say
just getting constantly pissed on by everybody.
I would agree with you with that. Just saying that Antoine was more like the Coconuts character. With Snively, Snively was again almost there to the point of Coconuts, but
Different,
again,
very
it was just a
different.
case of he was just forced into position, and because of Snively's height and again what's Snively doesn't have an awful lot to work with. It was a case of, well, I either do this or I get fucked over myself.
Mm.
So, hi, Robotnik, I'm going to work for you now, and I'm going to do everything brilliantly, just like you want me to. I
Oh, I
will
forget.
kiss your
Is
ass if you
Snively?
want me to.
Oh wait, wasn't Snively related to Robotnik or something like that? Canon wise,
In the comics, they say stated like a
nephew
relation,
or something.
and a nephew, um,
Yeah,
like a family
I don't know about the
tie-in.
show.
In the show, it wasn't mentioned.
Okay. But
Um,
I could see that being like the only reason he's actually, still what he is.
mhm. But even even you knew that Snively was just like, oh, for God's sake, shut the fuck up, Robotnik at times.
Oh
But
yeah, he didn't exactly like Robotnik.
no, he didn't. But again, it was that case of because of his position, he couldn't do anything about it.
Now, while he didn't like Robotnik, he liked the Freedom Fighters even less.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which
Yeah. Yeah, which is weird because you would think maybe he does have some remorse for some of the Freedom Fighters, but no, no. Sonic and a lot of the other team, they did screw Snively up a lot of the times to the point
well,
of just
see,
like Snively has no forgiveness for anyone now.
while Robotnik just wants to win and have a basically, if you will, game over. No,
Mhm.
Snively wants every ounce of power he can possibly get.
Oh yeah, You think Robotnik's like a power hungry machine? No, Snively's more and then some.
If Robotnik wasn't already in the position of power, and it's shown at the spoilers here, very end of the second series, that yeah, with Robotnik gone, he's gonna take over.
Oh yeah, and again, that's what the creation. A lot of the writer was saying as well. Ben was saying that he wanted Snively to be in that position of, okay, Robotnik's gone, now it's Snively's chance to run the show, and
Hmm.
Snively's going to be more coherent to actually destroy and take things away from Sonic, because
Yeah,
again
he's
in the
not
show,
fixated.
yeah, he's not fixating. Again in the show with Robotnik was a case of, okay, I've got the Hedgehog trapped. And Snively would say to him, just like, why don't you kill him, sir? And he's just like, no, Snively, I want to enjoy this. I want to make him suffer.
Yeah, which is the villain's downfall. The villain's one weakness is
Yeah,
he's so fixated on one target that he's blind to everything else.
precisely. As with Snively, it's just a case of, I have him now, crush him whilst I've still got this moment to crush him.
Let's kill him. Let's get it done with, and there we've won.
Yeah,
Robotnik wants to win, but he wants to gloat about it. He wants to have his cake and eat it too.
and then some.
Yeah. Well, okay, not his cake, but he also wants everybody else's cake too.
Yes, and then
Yeah, I
some.
tell you, Robotnik, you got that. Oh man. But
But
really, really, when it was one of those things where you wish the series had continued. You really did because you wanted to see what would happen when Snively actually had the reins.
oh yeah, because it was interesting as well. It's just like, okay, Robotnik's gone. He's a sort of like sub minor character, actually now in position of Robotnik. How will he run the show?
Mm-hmm. Pretty freaking much. Um, for other minor characters, I remember the Wolf Pack in like the last couple
Oh yeah,
episodes.
Lupe and the Wolf
Luke,
Pack.
yeah, Lupe, yeah,
That was
they're
interesting.
they yeah.
It just like this. Well, actually, yeah. As they mentioned throughout the show as well, there was other like subdivisions of freedom fighters throughout the entire universe. And
Mhm.
when it was getting to the point of Endgame, the Doomsday, um, was a case of, okay, we as a team, we're only small. We can't do this alone. We need to get other people in on this, and that's what they would do.
Yeah.
They would like travel around trying to see who else was out there trying to rebel against Robotnik as a resistance.
Like, didn't they have an episode with the dragons and everything too?
Uh,
Or was that only in the comics?
there was an episode with the dragons, but that was sort of like it was like a motherhood parent episode. That one actually, it was kind of weird.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right.
Because
But
it was where Dulcie started having constraints for like a motherhood point, and
mhm.
they actually realized that they find a dragon egg, one of the very last dragon eggs, and they have to protect it from Robotnik.
That's what it was. Okay. But yeah, I mean, they did go around. What they were doing in that is they were kind of expanding the world. Because actually, what you said earlier about how much of the world that robotic had taken over.
Hmm.
Uh, no, actually, Lupe and her wolf pack and everything, they kind of had a section of the world that had been completely taken yet.
Well, it was
Some kind of like desert thing, wasn't it?
it was it was a desert, like a desert allotment sort of thing where Robotnik was trying to build it up, dig it out for resources, so like new materials and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was essentially the wolf pack would keep setting up traps, so anytime when something was trying to dig up, it would just blow up, and it was just like, well, how the hell did that happen? What was set underneath there to blow up my machine?
Yep. I also remember I don't remember when this was. It was in season 1 or 2, but there was also an episode where someone was trying to steal the power stone to generate rings. I
Ah,
don't remember what that was for. Like what character or group it was. But in the end, Sonic basically snaps the stone in half and goes, "Here you go." They're trying to use it as some kind of power source.
oh yeah, yeah, I think I remember that one. Not as
Mhm.
much, but yeah. As a lot of people in chat are just stating here that they're just talking about Nogus, the
Yeah,
sorcerer.
Nagas. Yep.
Again, a very interesting relationship to the what they added into the story implementation of the Void,
Yeah.
the alternative world where once you're in, very good luck on trying to get back out.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, there's a whole other side to this. You've got your greenery and everything with Sonic and his group. You've got your industry and everything with Robotnik, but in this world, magic also exists.
Yeah, yeah.
Magic is very prominent, in fact.
Hmm. Yeah. Again, it was that case of in some episodes, it was which one's more prominent on being powerful? Is it magic or is it
Mhm.
technology?
Yep. Oh man, that was and unfortunately, I don't think that the magic aspect of the world really ever got explored that much, other than with Nagus and like the ring stone and basically the Deus Ex Machina of the last episode, really.
Yeah, yeah. Magic wasn't heavily exposed in within this show, but it was there. It was certainly a
Mhm.
element
Yeah. Now with
that
the
could be looked
comics, on
back
the
on.
other hand, they went nuts with that in the comics.
Mm.
It is basically an explanation for any other realm in the comics, if I remember right.
Well, magic has been used like that a lot of the times in shows. Again, it's sort of like that scapegoat for explaining things. Just like, how did that happen? Magic,
How did the special stages happen?
magic.
Magic.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't remember much about Nagus. I mean, I remember he was there. I remember okay, I remember the episode where Robotnik's basically walking right up to his base and everything. He's the only thing's evil enough to get in.
Hmm.
But I remember he steals Sonic's speed.
He does. To
I
escape.
don't, yeah, I don't remember
Uh,
much else though.
I remember when he gets out, he sort of torments Robotnik by changing him into other animals. Like it changes him into like a pig to represent his sort of like greed. But the problem is what happens with Norgus is that because he's been in the void for so long, um,
Yeah.
it became an element of the void. So because he's now out of his element, he starts sort of becoming like I think it's glass he turns into or ice or something. very very brittle
Interesting.
outside of the void, and it's a case of in order to survive, I have to go back to the void.
Mm-hmm. Ah, it's been a long, long time since I've watched this series. Like I said earlier, I need to again.
Yeah, but a lot of characters were like that as well in the show, where it was a case of they weren't good nor bad. They were very grey matter,
Mm-hmm.
very on the edge with things. Because you again, a lot of the characters what they bring into the show as well, where it was Ari the Ram.
Oh
Uh,
wow, yeah, that's one I barely remember.
yeah, Ari was he had to help Robotnik dupe Sonic into leading him into and this was a
That's
game
right.
tie. Yeah, this was a game tie into Sonic Spinball,
That's right.
and basically what it was a case of okay, you lead Sonic into the trap, and Robotnik will promises to free all your friends, and he gets back to Robotnik space and just like right, I've done what you've doing. He's just like, oh, very good. Okay, you can see your friends now, and his friends have been roboticized.
Of course.
Of course.
It's exactly what you expect out of them.
So it's a quick it's a quick heel face turn where
Yep.
instead of screwing over Sonic, it's a case of okay, Robotnik's just fucked me over. Now I'm going to get revenge and fuck over Robotnik by helping out Sonic and his team.
Uh oh, here's a character, Cat.
Cat, yeah.
Very
Um,
first episode.
it wasn't the very first episode, but one of the earlier episodes, yeah.
No, no, I'm pretty sure it was the first episode because he basically he leads the SWAT bots away, tells Sonic he'll meet up with him later,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on in the episode, Sonic sees him in the cell and says, "I'll be back for you," and then tries to go back later, and he's already gone, been
Gone, yeah.
roboticized. That was the first episode. I do remember that.
Oh wait, yeah, I remember now. A lot of the episodes were out of sync of actual production.
Oh, that's right. I do. Yeah, it's funny you should bring that up. Actually, that's the second series I've ever heard that happening to.
Yeah, it was
The other
weird.
one
Eh?
was
It's
a
weird,
show
ain't
called
it?
Firefly.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because
but yeah, I
you would
mean,
think that we like show like the earliest adaptations for the like storyline. If well, okay, maybe there wasn't so much of a storyline continuation at this point, but
but for a starting point,
yeah, for a starting point, it's just like okay, start off with your actual earliest production, not one of the later ones.
yeah, because see, I have to remind you when I went back and watched these later, I watched them off of a website, where they actually had them in the whatever order they were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that for me that was number one. But yeah, I could definitely see where the well, no, that's not number one. That's somewhere down the line comes from.
Mm.
And for all I know, that website could have it wrong.
No, no, I'm sure they've. I mean, the DVD release put them all into chronological order.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That one seemed like it would have been number one because it kind of introduced a lot of the characters. It was a very introductory episode, if you will.
But the funny thing is that the original episode was the pilot episode where Sully's pink.
Oh God, you see, I never saw that one.
No, it's
No, I need to.
yeah, it's weird because it's again, you, if you're watching through like the intro clips here, what I've put off just for the side, whilst we're streaming here. One of the clips was I got was one of the earlier adaptations of what they were going to do for Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. Whereas
Hmm.
again, Sonic's Sally's still pink, and a few other characters still have like minor design
Yeah.
stuffs. Yeah, you'll notice that that's again DiC animation. What they've done again was, although a lot of the production was a lot better than just Sonic the Hedgehog when they were doing the pilots for the new Sonic the Hedgehog TV series, they still recycled a lot of stuff again.
They did. Uh, I just all overall though, this is easily my favorite series of Sonic.
Hmm.
My favorite iteration. Even compared to the games. If I had to say, well, okay, if I pick a video game or if I pick something that's not a video game related to Sonic, what's it gonna be? It's either gonna be Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or this. And really, in all honesty, for the things I like better, I'd probably pick this.
Hmm. It's